I'll tell you how I felt the last time I broke up. So, uh, it it was second time we were in a relationship. Like first we broke up, and then again we came into a relationship because I loved her so much. So I pushed it. I just made it happen. But long distance and the gap was increasing, and somewhere I knew that it was going to happen. So it wasn't that bad, but yeah, it always feels bad. But when you know that it's coming, it doesn't hurt that much. But eventually, when you start missing that person, like you don't get that texts, don't you don't have anyone to video call, you don't have anyone to tell कि मैंने आज ये ब्लॉग पढ़ा, मैंने ये वीडियो देखा, और मैं किसी को बता नहीं पा रहा हूँ कि उस समय वो मैंने क्यों पढ़ा. So that's when it hits you that, oh, something has happened, something is missing. Anyone wants to share?
Okay. The last time, of course, as I said, there were no relationships as such, but more or less after every time you were with a person or I was with a person, it seemed more like after they disowned you, or maybe they walked away, or there was a reason you left them, you were more like a filler in their life. So they were looking, so like you binge watch things, right? In between two shows, say if you movie plan with somebody and a lunch plan with someone, the evening snack has to be there, and it's more or less like a filler. Not always there, but sometimes. So I think the past few times it was, or maybe all the time, it was more or less like being a filler to somebody and just being available 24 into 7 when they need you, but not when you need somebody. So I think that taught me one thing, that you don't need to be available for people 24 into 7. You need yourself first, and then you can be that ambulance service to anyone. So yeah, filler is the word.
Anyone
Okay,
else
I'll
want to?
share. I'd like to go. Um, I want to share just two experiences. So, the first time I broke up, okay, that time I felt like I will never fall in love again. Like this is the end. That's it. And the void that you were talking about, Samay, exactly. Like you were so used to talking to this person daily, sharing everything that is going on in your life, being there for them being there for you, and it is like you have imagined this whole life with them. And so a relationship ending is not just them not being with you, but you're also giving up on this imagination, this life that you thought you both were going to live. So you are giving up all of that, and now you need to start living a new life and creating a new imagination all on your own. I think uh, the last time I broke up, again, it did feel bad, and it did feel because you were giving up this imagination or this beautiful world. But this time I knew that this is teaching me a lot of things, and I will fall in love again. It's not the end of the world. This is not the last time this is happening. It hurts, but I will heal and I will fall in love again, and it will be far more beautiful than the world that I'm imagining. So yeah, that was mine.
Beautiful, beautiful. The thing you said that I will fall in love once more. That really hit me because I I also believe in that. So there's also one question, like um, you know when you break up, what it means to me is that some part of my life is separated from me. Some part have like a void has been created, and it happens. And like you said that the first time we broke up, you were like, इसके बाद तो नहीं ही होगा. So जाकिर खान ने एक बार कहा था कि बचपन का प्यार बचपन के लिए जरूरी है, कॉलेज का प्यार कॉलेज के लिए जरूरी है, जॉब का प्यार जॉब के लिए. वैसे ही तभी का ब्रेकअप तभी के लिए जरूरी है, अभी का ब्रेकअप अभी के लिए जरूरी है, आगे का breakup आगे. So I have been vegan since my eighth standard. Quite of a thing to brag. But whenever I got separated, it was like devastating. Like for the first time, it was really. It felt like everything is shattered. There's no will to leave. Uh, Everything just comes down to that one person. And somewhere I think, like till last year, it was the same. Till last year, I was like, oh fuck, everything is ruined. Nothing is going to happen now. But eventually, it happens, and nothing nothing happens to me. This feeling means a breakup to me. Like feeling that there's nothing anymore is is a feeling I get when I break up. So likewise, what do you feel? What do you guys feel when you broke up? What a breakup means to you?
Uh, okay, so I want to start from thanking my ex. I have only had one relationship till now, and it was like uh, पहले पहले सब अच्छा था and everything was like wonderland, wow, so cool. And later on, the reality started coming out, and I think my biggest fear is that I fear losing people, and I cannot do that easily. So I think that fear can make me compromise many other things. And I did in my relationship. I did. Saving that one person was so important that uske piche I lost 10 other people. And when I had this realization, like I was so filled with guilt. It was so bad for me. I was like I was mentally traumatized. Like I made this choice, and I let it get to me. Then I started sorting out my feelings, my emotions, and later on, the relationship was also not working well. So I came to a point where I thought to myself that let's not do this anymore, not hurting yourself, not hurting the other person. Let's end it peacefully here. But I guess the other person was not ready for it, and we kept pushing it until I reached my limits. And one day I was like, bas, ab isse zyada nahi ho sakta. Isse zyada nahi ho sakta. And I was like, I have already given up, and if we continue this, इससे दोनों को hurt होगा. So let's make up our mind and let's end it here, so that we can have a better life in future. So then I had my breakup. उसके बाद पहले पहले तो I was like, yeah, okay, it's okay. And उसके बाद again the missing my ex wala feeling. And just like how you all everyone said कि हमारे दिन में जो भी होता है हम हर छोटी से छोटी चीज उस इंसान से शेयर करते हैं, एंड आफ्टर दैट हमारे पास कोई नहीं होता वो सारी बातें शेयर करने के लिए, एंड यू आर like really lonely all the time and you don't know what to do. So then now I think I am reflecting on the choices I made. I went back in my past and went to the people that whom I hurted uh, from my relationship. I apologized to them and asked for their forgiveness. And now I'm working out in making my relationship with my friends stronger. That's how I'm coming out of my relationship trauma. Yes, thank you. That's all.
I think Sam has touched upon a lot of points that come with this. And as she started, it is about also thanking. I think if you don't push yourself for a relation where you do not see something, we are selfish by the end of the day, and we see something that gives us solace, and that's what pushes us to be with that person. So I think it's also about thanking these people who teach you a lot of patience. You have the patience from right from waiting for the reply to person taking your calls to okay, like let going things like under you kind of ignore mistakes, and I think that kind of helps you grow. And like since we're all at this is the adulting phase as well. I think it's like to go very thick skin at a point of time, and then you meet people, you become that soft-hearted person. But the more you meet people, you kind of strike the balance between the both. So I think it's not possible if you do not allow people to come. So some people are so scared of having people in their life, new people, that they actually maintain a distance, which makes them an introvert, or maybe they have never been that interactive. So we are fortunate that we've met such people who, despite leaving, still keep a check. I think somewhere we're still grateful. I think most of you might agree. We all kept a check during the pandemic whether they are doing fine or not. So I think whatever has started was started with a beautiful bond that is friendship. I think that is what we need to understand. And whatever your beautiful takeaways are, if you ever try to apply that, I think I take it in the name of friendship and I apply it in my life. So I am not patient, but somewhere if I lift my tolerance bar, it's because that beautiful bond that is called friendship has taught me. Of course, that can be labeled for all the wrong things now because you don't really reflect it that way. But I think that that foundation stone forever stays the way it is. So I think we somewhere I had trust issues and I had reasons why I had trust issues, but now I know how to trust people. So I've built a system for myself. So I cannot blame the other person for trusting them blindly. So that's the takeaway. Patience, listening, and understanding people. Like if somebody is not taking my call, I shouldn't be that impatient and understand what their situation is. So I think that telepathy has somewhere developed, and that is what I think. It's not just about relationship that you share with some random person. That helps you being a good person at home with your family members, your siblings, maybe your cousins, and somewhere you're thankful to that one person who actually taught you all this. So I think blaming that person all the time is not right. They taught you something good, and that's the reason you wanted to go, and you were attracted like a magnet. It's only somewhere our ego. I think this is also wrong to blame them completely. Even our ego went south and said like, "Hey, बहुत हुआ, अब बस कर मेरा भी respect है." And that's when you kind of try to strike the balance. So we are at positive times and they are at positive times, and when you cannot bear each other, just like let's end it here. Friendship stays the place it is, and I think I'm thankful to each and every person who has been a part of my life. Who's still friends with me. So somewhere I do not feel uncomfortable when I have an immediate counter with them, and I'm just like how to escape. So what they have taught me is not to escape the situation, be in the situation, deal with it, and a beautiful journey altogether, despite the one it was supposed to be. So yeah, that is all we said. So we should be thankful for it. That's my takeaway.
It was like before, a quite brief one and very detailed take on this question. I really like that. Anyone else want to talk about it?
Yeah, I'd like to go now.
Yeah, Prita.
Yeah, so thank you, Hiranmai, for bringing up that topic. And Sam, you're very, very cute. And really sweet of you to share your experience. I've never met you, and I'm sorry, this is such a bizarre and like, um, yeah, anyway. So, what I wanted to touch upon that Hiranmai spoke about was like emotional growth. And that is actually the stage where
I am right now, you feel like you want a friendship out of it, and all of these feelings. So it's a lot to process, but I think that emotional maturity and emotional growth is one of the most important factors in all of them, in growing yourself in a relationship. But a relationship is just an aspect of your life, like just one simple part of it. But the other parts of it, um, in every way, that is growing yourself as an individual, it comes to emotional, it or everything comes down to emotional maturity, more or less. And to connect with someone is the most important part of it. So when we say that we want to like be in a relationship or love someone, when what we really want is to just have a bond with someone and have a connection with people. um, when we met, when I met Hiranmai and Ritansha in college, that was a very unique experience. I mean, we created somewhat of a bond. That was a connection. That was a form of relationship, and I've it has gone through its ups and downs. We've been through a lot, but um, we've also learned that emotional maturity is where it's at, and we've learned that again, if someone doesn't pick your call up, it doesn't mean that they're ignoring you. It means that they might not have enough time right now. So coming to relationships, I think that we all have the conception of there being one right person. At the end of our lives or at some point of our lives, we're going to meet some person who's going to solve every single one of our problems. But that really does not exist, because um, this is something that a modern day philosopher, Landy Botton, has said, that it's a video that I would recommend everyone to check out. It's called "Why You Will Never Marry Why You Will Marry the Wrong Person." Yes. So again, there is no right person and there is no wrong person. We're all human beings, and you just have to find someone who you deeply connect with and who might have the same values that you do. And the second thing is that when we talk about relationships, there are a lot of relationships comes in a lot of phases. So that's in your school phase, and then your college phase, and then your job, when you grow as a person more and more. So in all of those phases, I think the most important part is to get getting over the process of getting over your past relationship and learning from it is not just a one day thing. It's not just like watching a one video thing. So when we say that, oh my god, we're over this person now, we watch a video and say, hey, this is what I have to do, this is the one key golden solution to every single problem, and I'm going to do it, and problem solved, bazooka, that's it. But it does not happen like that, and a lot of us fail to understand that. And that, I think, is extremely important. Thank you. And also, just one last thing. Thank you so much, Ratansha, and everyone here for attending this session, because, and also Ratansha for hosting the session, because it has been such a long time since I have seen more than 5 faces. And it's so nice to see everyone. Thank you.
So I just want to say that what what you do for a person or something you understand so much that you give up your self respect. That if someone is not picking up call, and it's all good, like not picking up call is okay, but for a long span you just ignore it and you put efforts, but the efforts are not reciprocated, and you just burden yourself with maturity, so called, that oh, I'm mature, I will just put in effort, and if she is not putting it in, it's okay. But that's not how it works. We sometimes, try to do so much for that person, but it it's not reciprocated, and that's where one of the most common problem in a relationship occurs. So what do you think about it? Like, which is the most common reason or something
Um,
which causes a breakup?
Something which causes a breakup. There are hundreds and millions of reasons why a breakup can be caused. Again, I know it's very vague, but to go with the example that you gave, that if we're mature and the other person is not, you simply have to give them. So there are, I think, in my opinion, again, there are two options. Either you let the other person, give them chances to mature and help them develop, or you leave the person because you understand that you're an emotionally mature person and the other person is not. And as a grown up person who understands that, hey, the other person is not at the place where I need them to be, or the other person is not ready to receive all that I have to give at this point in time, you have to understand that it's okay to move on to the other person. It's kind of an optimistic nihilism. You understand that there is so much of despair, there is so much of sorrow in the world that maybe you will never meet another person again, but there is still hope. But the point is that if the other person is not emotionally mature and you are, again, two options. You either let them know that, hey, this is where it might be going wrong and you need to improve. If they don't, then you have to move on. And um, coming to the point of optimistic nihilism, which I have found to be extremely important to understand for myself and a lot of other people that I have met who had a lot of serious mental health issues, is that when you start to explore a lot of these concepts, when you start to turn, say, 13 or 14, 15, 16, you come across this entire world which is telling you, like, right now we're going through this phase where we're discovering memes and we're discovering all of the cool content on the internet and discovering all of these new ideas, and they're so new to us. And so my sister is like 32 years old or something, and but then you come across a lot of ideas which tell you that uh, like you discover concepts like nihilism and you get distracted with it, you get carried away with it. I've seen a lot of people who think that existentialism and nihilism, oh my god, that's such a brilliant concept, and it's telling me that the world is going to end, so I'm going to be sad about it. So you have two options. Again, you have the option. Either you choose to be sad about it, that shit, my life is going to end, or you just say, hey, my life is going to end, so I might as well do the better thing right now, because there would be no point to it. So let there be, why not let myself create a point? You know?